I remember when a few years ago I would often talk about the idea of sex and like how awesome it's gonna be. I'm so excited to have sex. I'm gonna beat the brakes off that thing, you know? And I distinctly remember back when I used to describe sex that way and be like sort of excited over the prospect of sex. I would always have people tell me sex isn't actually all that, bro. Like, it's not even that good. It's pretty similar to jacking off. You're not missing out on that much, etc. Just stuff like that. And this would always surprise me every time someone said this to me, because to me the idea of sex is like very exciting. It's very intimate. It's sharing one of the most intimate things with another person. So it really surprised me when people would compare it to jacking off. Pretty much the same as jacking off, bro. That always really surprised me. And I think recently I've just come to some realizations as to why these people feel this way about sex. And it's kind of fucking sad, actually. I feel like sex should be one of the most passionate, intense, intimate things that you share with someone else in your life. It should feel like your life source is weirdly being charged back into you. It should feel like a battery recharging, your masculine energy being recharged. It should feel powerful. And I think the reason a lot of people don't feel that way towards sex is due to these things which I'm about to talk about now. The first one being, you are depolarized. You are either not a masculine man or you're not with a feminine woman. It doesn't actually matter which side of the spectrum you're on in terms of masculine energy and feminine energy. You can be a feminine man and be with a very masculine woman and have awesome sex. But there needs to be that polarization. If you're like not really masculine and they're not really feminine, you will end up in these scenarios where you're having sex just for like the sake of it. There's not actually any powerful energy being exploded in this sounded kind of sexual, but you get my point. It's very depolarizing sex. It's not exciting at all. It's a sort of sex which you would have as like a 40-year-old married person. It's like, yeah, I guess I'll have sex. There needs to be a massive polarization between the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And if you don't have that, you're not only gonna have like a shitty relationship, you're just gonna have shitty sex as well. It's a sort of relationship you'd have where it's like, you know, oh yeah, like we love each other, but like, you know, it's just not very fucking exciting. You love each other for the sake of it kind of thing. That might hurt you to hear as well. You might be thinking like, oh fuck me, that's not me, is it? Maybe it is. This is why it's really important to actually put some intention behind your masculinity and your femininity, whichever one suits you best, because a lot of people think that they're born with a dick and balls and that makes them masculine, and it's not the fucking case, especially in today's society where it's so geared towards actually ripping away masculinity from young men. One of the biggest problems with the dating market right now is the fact that there is no polarization anymore. Women are having to become more masculine because there's not many masculine men. Men are not masculine because they're all a bunch of pussies. That's generally why the dating marketplace is where it's at. It's fucking sad. And this will seep on over into your sex. Like I say, your sex isn't fun, it's not exciting because you're depolarized. The second reason why you might think that sex isn't even that astonishing, it's like, oh, it's whatever, it's like jacking off, is because you're bad at it. You're bad at sex. Sex, like many other things, is a skill to be leveled up. You can learn how to get better at sex. And with this will come a big wave of confidence, knowing, oh, you know, if I fancy this girl and she fancies me, I could absolutely show her a good time. But if you're not confident in that, suddenly your drive to sort of approach that girl, talk to that girl, dips, because it's like, oh, I'm not even good at it. It's like, why would I bother? I don't want to give it the most disappointing 5 minutes of her life. And point number 2 actually seeps into point number 3, which is you're not comfortable in your own body. If you're not comfortable within your own body and within your own masculine frame, then you're not going to have good sex. You're going to be constantly in your own head, not in any sort of flow state. You're going to see sex as like a task. It's like a task to do. It's not actually an experience at that point because you're so wrapped up in your own thoughts. Masculine frame and having frame, okay, is the idea that You are so comfortable and so confident within yourself that no external factors can actually penetrate that. If you're insecure about your PP size, if you're insecure about that extra little bit of fat you've got, you don't have frame, because you're going to take your shirt off and immediately lose frame. And so your sex will be bad. You won't be present for your sex. It'll be a task. It won't be an experience. And that's sad. Which is why, it's like jacking off. Yeah, of course, jacking off's like a task as well. Again, sex should be an experience that you share with someone else. It should not feel like jacking off. Point number 4 I want to make is that the woman is not submissive. This is once again like quite common because women are having to become more masculine in today's society because there's not many masculine men, and with that they lose a lot of their like submissive nature. Maybe the man's more feminine and the woman's more masculine, but like generally that's not the case. The point is one person needs to be more submissive, one person needs to be more dominant. And once again, if your masculine frame is being tested and you're failing those tests, the woman isn't going to want to submit to you because you're a bitch. I can't remember what number this is. I think reason number 5 or 6 now, something like that. But you're not fucking as often as you want to be. And so therefore, when you are fucking, you're quick, you're fast. This is once again going to rip away from your confidence in your ability to have sex. And if you're more sex driven, if you're a very sex driven person, lack of sex can really like negatively affect your self-esteem. So there are some of the reasons which I've sort of thought about over the last few days. Like why did people used to tell me like sex, it's not even that good, Sam, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. And I think they're the main reasons. I think it's sad. I think sex should be one of the biggest things that you look forward to and pursue in your life, especially if it's meaningful, affectionate, intimate sex with someone that you value. It's very different if you're engaging in casual sex. It's quite meaningless, casual sex. Like, not this shit which I just talked about, it doesn't matter as much for casual sex, because it's just like, you're out and it's like, oh yeah, the fucking this bitch made eye contact with you for 3 seconds, I guess I'll take her back. Like, doesn't really matter how good I am at sex or like any of this shit, because we're never gonna see each other again. And to be fucking honest, I don't value this person at all. They're probably disgusting. I don't want to spend much time with them outside of the sex. Me personally, I am not at all inclined towards casual sex. So genuine sex which has emotions, affection, intimacy, I think that's fucking awesome. And I think it's something that's really worth putting some thought and intention behind. How do I actually achieve this? Because it's not going to come to you naturally. You're not going to be like where you are right now. You're probably sat in front of your fucking computer on your crusty gaming chair, and you're not suddenly going to become god of sex, god masculine figure, fucking giga chad. You're not. It takes some fucking work. So it's worth thinking about. It's worth putting some intention into. What would make me more masculine? What would make me more secure? What would give me a better masculine frame? How do I start meeting, quality women? Not from clubs, basically. Maybe I should think about getting better at sex as well. Maybe I maybe I fucking come in 2 seconds. Maybe I should think about that as well. Very, very high return on investment to actually put some intention behind these things, guys. If you feel this way about sex, if you feel like, sex, it's not a big deal, or, jacking off, pretty similar, like, I think that's really fucking sad, man. And I think you're missing out on one of the peaks of human existence, which is oh, my brain just went a little bit there. I'm gonna end it here. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was insightful. If you're not already, join the Discord, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.